Later on in the show, we're going to have a pop violinist. Her name is Cara-c, and she is one hottie. Hi, welcome back. The music you've been listening to is Gypsy Love Dust, and it was composed and performed by our next guest, Cara-c. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you. I'm just so thrilled to be here. And I love the title of your show, The Fairer Sex. When I heard that, I said, yes, way to go.
Fantastic, fantastic. Well, I know you have such an interesting story. You studied music at Juilliard.
Right.
And actually are classically trained, correct?
I went to Juilliard from pre-college. I got my bachelor's there at Juilliard and my master's.
Oh.
And it was just a few years ago I decided to cross over to pop violin. I was trained classical all the way.
Fantastic. Well, I've listened to the CD, and it's something else. I love it. It's got a great beat, but yet there's something ethereal about it. And I know that you actually composed Gypsy Love Dust while looking at this poster, correct?
Well, true. If you look at this, actually, this was created by a very talented woman. Her name is Helena Nelson Reed, and you know, I have this ability to translate colors into music notes.
Wow.
So Gypsy Love Dust, you're right, it has an ethereal quality because, well, just look at this painting. It's an angel cradling the earth. And I looked at it and I stared at it for hours and hours and hours, and wouldn't you know it, sooner or later I started hearing notes in my head. And this is how I compose sometimes, just looking at a painting. And I said, okay, Cara, what comes to you? And I imagined myself as a violin goddess, sort of sprinkling love dust from the sky, flying around the atmosphere, protecting and guarding our planet. And that's how Gypsy Love Dust came about.
Cara, you are so lovely, and you have a gorgeous violin. Could you tell me a little bit about it?
Oh, I love my violin. It's such a Barbie doll violin. It's a custom-made electric violin. One of the great things about being a pop violinist is that I get to play electric violins in any color that I want, and red is one of my favorite colors, so I had the violin maker paint it red for me. And I love rhinestones, so I had rhinestones put on my fine tuners.
Oh.
And also up here where the pegs are.
Oh, nice.
So it sparkles when it catches the light.
Yes.
And if you see the back, it's got a little face on it.
Oh, look at that.
And it has a very good pickup, Lloyd Baggs, and it just sounds warm, and it's wonderful. And it's light, which is a girl's best friend, a light violin.
Well, it is gorgeous, and the music you make on that violin is gorgeous also.
Well, thank you.
And I know that you have interests in not just music, but environment and women's rights.
My three favorite causes is women's rights, women's equality, empowerment, environment, and music education in our classes.
I couldn't agree with you more on all three of those issues, actually.
Very important.
Very important. So now that you're a pop violinist, what do you see for yourself? What would you like to accomplish?
Well, I see myself doing what any other or every other pop artists do. Recording, selling CDs, performing live, touring, giving back for years and years and years.
Into the future.
Yes.
Great, fantastic. Well, I know that I have a copy of your DVD and your CD. If someone wants to contact you, how would they do that?
Well, the fastest way is to go to my website, which is www.cara-c.com.
Fantastic. And I hope everyone in the viewing audience does that. Is there a sampling of your work on your webpage?
There is, absolutely there is, yes. They can watch music videos. There is samples of all the songs that I've recorded, yes.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for joining me. And we look forward to following your career. I'm sure it's going to be spectacular.
Oh, thank you very much for your vote of confidence.
Fantastic. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the Cara-c. Well, I love Cara-c.
Oh my goodness, her music is so beautiful, and she is so talented and so young.
Absolutely. and even though she's classically trained, she really brings some pop to that violin.
It's like a contemporary sound, not just classical. I love classical music, but it was nice to have a more contemporary beat with as well.
Absolutely.